So I'm showing you first what I would do before any makeup whatsoever to help prep. And the thing is, so you've done all of your skincare, everything like that, and one of the really important things that people don't remember to do when they don't want under eye creasing is to really hydrate their under eyes. So I've already gone in with my eye cream of choice, which is the Eye Duty from First Aid Beauty Niacinamide Brightening Cream, and this one's got a little bit of a tint to it, which is quite cute. I do like the tint, if you can see. But yeah, just anything to hydrate your under eyes before we go in, because if our under eyes are dry, we're gonna get creases, because we need that product to slide and glide onto our eyes so smooth and so easily. So that's first, any of the eye creams of your choice. So second, an actual primer for your eye, which I use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Eye Base. So I've actually used the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base before, which is a really good primer, but this is a nice addition for your under eyes also to ensure you have that same amount of primer and preparation for your concealer. So I'm actually going to put that on now as well, and I really do love this formula. It's really thick and creamy, so you know that it's really hydrating. Always be gentle with your under eyes. Use your ring finger. I'll bring this down to, you know, just where I can see my bag. Just make sure the whole eye is super hydrated. I just love knowing it's hydrated, so I know for sure. Okay, so now our eye prep is done. Now I'm going to move on to do, you know, my base, and then when I come to do my concealer and stuff, that's when I'm going to come back to you so I can show you the techniques I use to stop under eye creasing. So I'll see you in a jiffy. Hey guys. Okay, so I'm back. I've done my foundation, I've done a bit of cream contour, and now this would be the point where I do some concealer. So I'm gonna, again, since we're nicely moisturized underneath our eyes, I wouldn't do anything additional here. I would just go in with my concealer, which is gonna be a concealer which isn't too brightening, but it's gonna still brighten for us, which is the Tarte Shape Tape. So this is actually my favorite concealer in the world ever created, right now, this second, and forever. So this is literally my favorite concealer I've ever tried, and my favorite shade is Medium Tan Golden, which is what I've got here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna apply this in the areas where we want to conceal, which for me will just be underneath my eyes here. Okay, so I've just applied concealer on both sides where I would usually just conceal, and now we're going to blend that out. And for this, I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender. This is a microfiber beauty blender, but any beauty blender will do, but I've just been liking the feel of the microfiber ones. And then we're going to really gently just tap away, and make sure you're not doing anything sweeping, make sure you're not going crazy, just really light tapping motions and really just pressing that in, and being sure to look up and get into all of those creases that we want to avoid under our eye, and really just pat that in, and do the same on both sides. Like, the shade of my foundation and the shade of this concealer together is just giving me so much life. This is the perfect concealer shade for my skin tone. I can't get enough. So now this is all nicely blended out, we can leave that there for a second. So now we're going to pick up our favorite translucent powder, and I always think the best translucent powder I've ever used ever since I first started doing makeup is the Laura Mercier powders. So I started using the translucent powder, but now I'm using the honey powder, and that's really just a personal preference. The translucent powder works great on my skin tone, but I feel like the honey shade, I think it's a great adjustment for darker skin tones, but the translucent still works just as fine, and I'll just, it depends how I'm feeling, but recently I've been really loving the translucent honey. And as you can see here, it's more of a golden shade compared to the translucent powder. You know how I am a Huda Beauty Bacon Blend stan. I washed my Bacon Blend brush. It was a really great day, everything was going well, then it dried like this. I'm so angry, like, how can it dry like this? For now, I'm going to be using a Morphe 2. I think this is like the D'Amelio collab. Firstly, before we start anything, to ensure creases, we need to prep or prepare to fail and get creasy. So what we're gonna do, remove the lid of your translucent powder, make sure there's powder ready, put it on the side. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our beauty blender and go over our under eyes again. And we're doing this because we need to make sure there are no creases at the time when we set our under eyes. The main cause for creasing in your makeup and when you see it in your under eyes is because you're setting your makeup when you've got creases there already. So when you set creases, the creases are gonna stay. The best way I've seen to combat that is to literally blend it out and then set one eye, blend it out, set the other eye. Don't blend, blend, set, set, blend, set, blend, set. And I think this will solve all of our problems. So we blend out again. This is gonna be the most unattractive video ever. But yeah, let's blend and tap your brush. I've got about this much on. And what we're gonna do is press that into our under eyes. Not bake or anything, but press the actual product into our under eyes. Press, 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 press. Just press it in. And this will ensure it gets in all the creases, all of the areas where they would cause a crease, but we're pressing the powder in there, so that ain't gonna happen. And then continue to press it in, and it will slowly start to disappear because you're actually pressing it into the skin. Once I've pressed it in a little bit, I'll gently roll over like this to make sure we're actually getting into those creases. So gently roll and just keep pressing. And make sure you're pressing that powder in every place where you put the concealer. Look at the difference. Okay, cool. So that for now is our under eye done. So now we do the exact same for the other eye. And you know, at this point, while we're at it, we'll do, you know, if you followed me for a while, the granny lines. We'll do the granny lines at the same time. Just press that in. Set those to make sure they're not gonna come in surprises later on. Because I hate these as well. By my standards, you should definitely be crease proof at this moment, for sure. So now we'll just take a little bit more once we've done both eyes, go over, grab some more powder and actually put that on there to bake that there. We'll just leave that for a bit. Literally only leave that for literally a minute. You wanna look cakey. So once you've done both sides, just brush this off. Show your lid. And then just continue with the rest of your makeup as you would. Stages that you've watched so far are the key stages of how to avoid under eye creasing. I'm going to finish my makeup off and come back and show you what it looks like at the end. Hey guys, so here's the finished look. This is with all the makeup back on and your under eyes are still intact. So as a little finishing touch, what I do is I grab my powder and I just brush over our under eyes once more. Not to bake or anything, but just make sure everything is in place how we want it. I've got under eye eyeshadow, and that also helps to mask the creases because we're all human, we're all gonna get under eye creasing. It's practically impossible not to get under eye creasing, but as I've mentioned before, we're just trying to, you know, mask it as well as possible. So I just get some more powder and put it under our eyes and around the areas, and then just set that with your fave setting spray. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you learned something watching this, and I really want to emphasize that I think the main bit of under eye creasing is the preparation of under your eye, blending, then setting one eye, blending, then setting the other, and you should be good to go. But remember, we can't expect the flawless under eye because no one's got flawless under eyes. We've got to end up loving our under eye creases. Under eye creases are great. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what else you want to see from the makeup basics. I'll see you in my next video.